Welcome to the podcast. We are broadcasting from a very gray Columbus, Ohio today, and honestly, looking out the window, the weather just cannot make up its mind.
It really cannot. One minute it feels like winter, and the next, the humidity hits you the moment you step outside.
Exactly. And notice what you just said right there. It feels like winter. You used the word like.
I did. It happens automatically. Native speakers use that word hundreds of times a day without a second thought.
But for non-native speakers, this single word is a massive source of anxiety. I speak with professionals all the time who tell me they lie awake at night, replaying a meeting in their head.
Replaying a meeting? Because of a word?
Yes, the fear of sounding uneducated. Imagine sitting in a corporate office here in the Midwest. You have a brilliant idea, but your English freezes. You panic, and you end up saying like 5 times in one sentence. The immediate hot flush of embarrassment is real.
That imposter syndrome is crushing. You feel your colleagues judging your intelligence just because you stumbled on a filler word. I see this with my communication clients every single week.
So today, we are taking apart the word like. It is a Swiss Army knife. If you use the wrong tool in a boardroom, it cuts the wrong way.
I agree completely. We should start with the most basic form, which is expressing a preference. Meaning number 1, I enjoy something. For example, I like dark roast coffee.
Right, that is the meaning everyone learns on day 1 of English class. It shows a positive feeling toward a noun. I like my job. I do not like the snow in January.
Exactly. But meaning number 2 is where the confusion begins for a lot of learners. Like meaning similar to or resembling.
Give me an everyday example of that.
If I say he works like a machine, I am not saying he enjoys a machine. I am comparing his work ethic to the nonstop function of a machine.
That comparison is crucial. But let us talk about the third meaning, the elephant in the room, the filler word, the exact reason professionals sweat through their shirts during presentations.
Yes, the filler. When someone says, I was totally unprepared for that meeting.
People assume using like as a filler means you lack vocabulary. But I read a study from the Journal of Language and Linguistic Studies that surprised me. It is actually the opposite.
Validating, academic. I know the exact research you mean. Linguists classify it as a discourse marker. Conscientious speakers actually use filler words more frequently.
That blew my mind. The science shows that our brains use like to signal to the listener, wait, I am searching for the perfect word, do not interrupt me. It is a cognitive pause button, not a sign of stupidity.
Exactly. But society still penalizes it. In a formal job interview in downtown Columbus, if you use the filler like too often, the hiring manager consciously or subconsciously downgrades your authority.
So what is the strategy for our listeners? Do we banish the filler word entirely?
No, because then you sound like a robot reading a textbook. The strategy is volume control. 1 filler like per paragraph is natural. 5 in one sentence is fatal.
That makes sense. It is like wearing comfortable clothes. Fine for the grocery store, terrible for a court appearance.
That brings us to meaning number 4. Like, used as an approximation. When we say about or approximately.
For instance, it will cost like $50 to park downtown. You are not stating a fixed price. You are giving a rough estimate.
Right. Native speakers use this constantly because the word approximately feels too rigid for daily conversation.
But this can cause real trouble at work. I once had a project manager ask a vendor for a timeline. The vendor replied, it will take like 3 weeks.
Oh no. In project management, you cannot say like 3 weeks. You need a hard deadline.
Exactly. The project manager thought the vendor was disorganized and untrustworthy. A multi-$1,000 contract was almost lost over the word like.
That is the hidden danger of language. It is not just about grammar. It is about trust. If you are discussing budgets or timelines, avoid approximation.
Very true. Let us move to meaning number 5. Giving examples, meaning such as.
Providing solutions. Yes, we need to focus on marketing channels like email and social media. This is completely professional and safe to use in the office.
I prefer using like over such as in conversations. Such as feels a bit heavy, almost legal.
It does. Next is meaning 6, introducing an entire scenario or explanation. You often hear people start a sentence with, like, imagine if.
Ah, yes. I use this when trying to explain abstract concepts. Like, if the server crashes right now, we lose all the client data. It sets up the stage.
It serves as a signpost. It tells the listener, pay attention. I am building a hypothetical situation for you to understand my point.
Now we reach meaning number 7. And to me, this is the most critical one for non-native speakers. The phrase would like.
The polite alternative to want. This is a huge area of friction. Many immigrants unintentionally sound rude because they directly translate their native language into English.
Yes, if you walk into a coffee shop here in Ohio and say, I want a coffee, the barista will serve you, but they will think you lack manners.
Exactly. And if you say to your manager, I want to take Friday off, it sounds like a demand, almost aggressive.
That subtle phrasing can alter the entire trajectory of a career. You have to use I would like.
It gives the other person space to politely say no. Want leaves no room for discussion.
Stay safe in this unpredictable weather, and we will see you in the next episode.